Hi, this is Midnight at Luxury Hair. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing great. So I was calling actually because we did have a opening for the appointment tomorrow if you wanted to come in. Yeah, so it would be about a 5-hour appointment for the full service. Okay, I'll put you down. I'm just gonna move that from next month then, okay? So it would automatically cancel your next month appointment. You'll get a notification. You too. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hello, how are you? Welcome in to Luxury Hair. I'm Midnight. Do you have an appointment? Okay. And what time was your appointment for? Just check here. Yep. Okay. So you're actually going to be with me today. And it looks like you just did a call-in appointment, so I don't have any of your information really. So we're gonna go ahead and just create your profile, okay? Perfect. All right, so let's just go through all of the information. Just gonna verify your full name. Okay, and what's a good phone number for you? Got it. And an email. All right, I've got that. And what's your address? Okay, city, state, and zip code. Got it. And do you want to provide a month and day for your birthday? You would receive a special birthday promo package. Okay, what's that? Oh, so you have one coming up. Good. All right, so I'll put that in. You'll get a notification to schedule. It'll probably come through soon because we usually send you a notification for that about a month out. All right. Perfect. And do you have anyone you would like to refer today to our salon? You do get 10% off of your service for every person that you refer. Okay, go ahead. And do you have their phone number? Okay, go ahead. All right, and then relation to you? Friend? Okay, and then I just want to add to our computer system here. Do you have any allergies to any products, including food allergies? Because sometimes we use masks, like we have a banana mask, things like that. So any type of allergies. Okay, have you ever used any products that kind of give you an adverse reaction? And are you allergic to latex? And what about coconut? Okay, and anything else that you would like to mention that you want stored in your profile? All right, go ahead. Okay, so sulfates in any type of product. So we definitely don't use any products with sulfates, but it's good to note, so I'm gonna add that. And is that just because you do not want them used in your hair or you're allergic? Okay, thanks. All right, so I've got your profile set up. All good today, that's wonderful. And I'm just gonna finish checking you in. Perfect. So with that being said, are you familiar with our salon? Okay, Okay, so how did you hear about us? All right, let me just, I'm gonna add that. We do have a question for that in your profile. So social media. Okay, so basically we are, as our name states, a luxury salon. That means that typically each of our stylists or cosmetologists take one appointment per day, and that appointment typically takes around 5 hours long. What we do for that appointment is we start with a very thorough consultation with you where I'm going to look at your hair. And you have beautiful hair, by the way. Do you mind if I just kind of take a quick look? Okay. How long have you been growing it out? Oh, wow. Really long. Really gorgeous. So we take a quick look at your hair to start with, and I'm obviously going to do a much more thorough look. I will ask you a bunch of questions about your hair, and I'm just going to do a hair assessment. I will go through some potential style options with you. And based on your hair assessment, I will put together an agenda for our appointment. Typically, that includes some type of spa treatment for your hair. That could be a scalp treatment, it could be steaming, it could be both. We of course are going to do your hair, so I will go through. I have lots of options to show you in terms of what do you want your new hairstyle to look like. Okay, and we'll go through that. In this appointment, I'm also going to be doing a color analysis of your hair. So I'll start looking at your current hair color and the questions I ask on whether you have dyed it before. Then I will be using this, and I will do a color analysis of exactly what we will need to do to get you to your ideal color based on the requests that you have for that color. Now, I do have quite a bit of options. I have every color that you can think of in my book. So we will go over exactly what you want, and then I will figure out with our color analysis how to get there without damaging your hair, okay? Typically, this does take one session. If you're going from like black to blonde, then it might take longer, but you don't have black hair. So after that, the next appointment will be for your color changes. We'll do a really nice wash of your hair and a treatment, and then the following part of the appointment will be to trim and style. Yep. In addition to any other treatment that you need during that time, so blowout, steam, whatever. Then we'll finish up with whatever that blowout, steam style is, and then we will finally close out with me showing you some products that you can purchase if you want to before you leave today, and some free samples. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna just start by combing through your hair a bit and taking a look and just seeing what your hair's looking like, what kind of condition it's in, and then I'll ask you some questions. Okay. And you're comfortable? Okay, good. gonna tilt your head this way. Thanks. Yeah, I've been here for 8 years. We recently did a campaign on social media and it's gotten us a lot of new clients, which is great. Large majority of our clientele are repeat clients that come in on a very regular basis. So, I mean, that's always good, but you always want to keep building and getting new clients too. Yeah. So I'm just going to tilt your chair up a little bit. All right. I'm just going to start asking you a few questions, okay? 1 second, let me just get your client over here. Alright, so first question, how would you describe your hair type? Okay. That's great. Most people don't know, like, 2C, 4C, 4B, whatever. So that's really helpful. Okay, so when you get out of the shower, hair's wet, what texture is your hair? Alright, that makes sense. When you get in the shower and your hair's dry, how does your hair react? Is it hydrophobic? Does it take in and absorb water easily? Okay, and is your hair currently dyed? Okay, so just some of these highlights. And how long ago did you get the highlights? I'm just gonna look and check and see if we have any low lights in the back. Okay, so it does look like they went and did a little bit underneath. So most of them appear on top, but I can see a bit where they did the lights. Okay, let me just write that down. Have you ever bleached your hair? Okay. Have you ever dyed your hair any shade of red? Okay. Have you ever dyed your hair black? Okay. Have you ever had any issues with hair loss? So right back here. Okay, and then you said right here on the front by your temple. Okay, it's gonna Yeah, I see what you mean. So, let me look on this side. I see. So a lot of this is typically the result of pulling your hair back in a tight ponytail frequently. Let me see, 1 second. So a lot hair loss by your temples and some back of scalp. Alright, so in this area, right there on the temples, typically that's from pulling the hair back tightly. Do you do that a lot? Okay, and I'll ask you some questions about that too later in the questionnaire. Okay, have you ever had any scalp issues? Like dermatitis, anything like that? Dandruff, psoriasis? And how do you treat that? What shampoo? Can't remember. It's okay. Do you still use it? No? Okay. I'm going to use my tools here and I'm just going to take a bit of a closer look at your scalp just for the purposes to understand if you currently have any inflammation or anything like that. Alright, I'm just going to turn your head a bit. So I'm just going to use this and scratch the scalp a bit, okay? Nothing too harsh. When was the last time that you had trouble with your scalp? Mm-hmm. Second. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that looks good. No issues. Right now, scalp looks pretty healthy. Got a minimal amount of dryness, so we could definitely do a hydrating scalp scrub on the hair, or on the scalp. Sorry, not on the hair. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Have you done one of those before? Okay, we'll talk about that and later in the appointment. Okay. Now I'm just gonna ask you some questions about your style. How do you typically style your hair? Alright, and do you want to change that? Mm-hmm. Do you wear your hair down a lot? And do you use heat on your hair when you style it frequently? Okay, how often? Is that like a curling iron, straightener? Just look at your ends, okay? So you can see your ends are pretty good. We could take a little bit off. We don't need to do much. Honestly, they look pretty good compared to how long ago you told me that you have last trimmed. To the side, about the same. Look at the back. Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. And what are you looking to do with your hair for this makeover, this hair makeover? So maybe like some type of keratin treatment as well. Something to bring back some of the life to the drier ends. Like that. I like that idea. Okay. Anything else? Some layers. Some more volume. Layers are great for that. And I think you want to do some bangs or anything? Maybe. Let me just section. So this would be the area we would work with the bangs. I like this a lot. Yeah. So we could definitely work something in there. Yeah. Okay, we'll figure that out. I'll show you some options. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm looking at my product lab. I want to make sure I have a couple things in that I'm thinking for your hair. And you said no soy product. Let me just check this one and make sure. No, that's common. I can check for you. It's fine. All right. So that product, soy, no soy. Okay. We're good on that. And then let's go ahead and do your color analysis. Okay, now for this we are going to use my color book. Again, this has pretty much every color that you can think of. So I'm going to see, I think your current color, I'm just going to do a quick check, okay? Yeah. Alright. So I'm seeing in your hair, you are looking like you are at a light copper, golden brown. So right around this one, you actually have, it's washed out a bit, so you're more of a strawberry at this point. Let me see here. Where's my blondes? Here we go. So maybe this one. Yeah, this one is very close to yours. So we're gonna say you're at a 9.3. Very light golden blonde. Now, whenever you first went to this color, what were you closest to? Were you closer to something up here or something over here with these? Like this one? All right. And for your blonde highlights, you had a warm blonde. So let me just see here. Okay, you're probably over this side of the warm blonde spectrum. You tell me. Like a honey. Yeah, let me see. That's an ash, so I wouldn't say that would be you. Yeah, here we go. This one. This book is so large. It does have everything out. That's a good thing. Okay, so you're thinking like one of these. Which one? That one? So that's the very light golden blonde, which is great because it's also on the 9 scale. All right, now for your transformation, let's just take a look at my hair book. And I'm gonna flip through, no pressure, just let me know if you see something that catches your eye that you would like for this style. Okay. We have some shorter cuts, but you said you did not want any shorter cut, right? Okay. All right. That color. All right. Let me see. Do you like this color? A little bit too platinum. Okay. And what about the bangs? Okay. You like this kind of style? And she does have layers, and you talked about layers. Do you like these waves? Okay, you could do something like that. Let me just take down some notes. And hold on. So I know you're not looking for this color, but just tell me what you think about this style right here. These swoop bangs kind of remind me of Ella Langley a little bit, so I know that's kind of a style that's in right now. Are these blondes also too platinum for you? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go for more of a honey blonde. All right. Do you like this kind of honey blonde? And you like those roots? Okay. Let me look. Are your roots that color? Well, they're lighter, yeah. Okay. Have you thought about a balayage? Let me see. I'll show you one. You know I have one in here. It's just a matter of locating it. It's a good picture to show you too. 1 second. Yeah, we definitely do a lot of those. They're very in right now. I really want to find this kind of balayage for you. So it will just fade in from one color to the next. I do want to show you this part too. Oh, here we go. Okay. So first here's a balayage where she is going from a brunette. I'm trying to keep the glare off of the page. I'm not doing a very good job of it, but so she's going from this brunette color, and you see how it slowly morphs into this nice red. Yeah, so we could do that for you with the blonde to like that strawberry blonde color. And then we could keep the strawberry blonde at the top to match the natural shade. And if you're doing that, when we would want to play off the blonde undertones of the strawberry so it blends well. And see how this is like a really pretty, she kind of has it done a little bit because you see the bottom is more strawberry blonde. So we could do something similar to that. Okay, so I'm thinking we would probably do, let me find the blonde. We don't want ash. I'd say we go for a lighter tone than that. Okay, so I think what I would do is mix a bit. I'll show you what I mean. So we can go in with this warm natural blonde for most of your hair. If you wanted to do something lighter, we could do this one, or darker, we could do this one. You like this one? All right. So we're gonna do 9NB, and this would be for the majority of your hair. So probably, are you thinking that you want to keep the strawberry on top and do blonde at the bottom, or opposite? That's what I thought. Okay, so we would start doing all of this up here, blonde. Okay, halfway down, I would flip and start to merge in. All right, this one, very light, slightly copper blonde. So it's keeping that strawberry essence to the hair. That would be in the transition. Then towards the end, I would be mixing to this right here, this light copper golden blonde right here. Unless you wanted something darker, you let me know. This one? Okay. So how we would do this is I would separate everything, section it out. Then I would foil the top, so probably to about here. I'd foil. Yep. Then I would mix the middle color, that golden blonde, and I would put some gloves on and I would work right here like this through with my fingers to get a really nice ombre to mix them. Yep. And then at the bottom I would take a brush and I would brush it in so it would mix. You're okay with that? We would let it sit, then wash it out and do a treatment. Okay, that's what we'll do. And then as far as your cuts, we are going to do layers, correct? And you want some deep layers, like that one picture we looked at. Yep. And bangs. Would you like a straight bang, a curtain bang? Sure, I can show you some options. So we could do a very long bang like this one. That was less, but it just kind of merged into your layers. We could also do a swoop bang like this one that came over to the side and parted like that. These are always really pretty, but they do give a little more difficulty in terms of styling daily. Just letting you know. Here's another great example of that. Yeah, and then my recommendation would be to do somewhere a little bit of mix between the two. Let me show you. Trying to find the perfect picture. That's especially important if you're going to go back and forth between curly and straight hair. You don't want your hair to look weird if you don't style it a very specific way. You want to be able to do different things. So that's exactly what I see there. Yeah. Hold on, I'm too far. So I'm thinking we would do something like this, where it's not too long into the hair, it's not too short, but you can see it falls about midway down her hair. And then if you did it straight, it would just flow in. If you did it curly, it would have like a voluminous effect like this. All right, that's what we'll do. All right, if you give me just a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and just write up the whole schedule for your appointment, okay? Just gonna do my color wheel here. I wanna see, I need to do cancel out some of this. That violet. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, we'll do a 60. We'll do a 1:1:5 ratio then. Okay, I think that's perfect. And we'll lift just a tad lift. That'll be perfect. Okay, I'm just getting all my stuff lined up. Alright, so here's what we are gonna do. Give me just a second, I'm gonna write everything down. here's what we're gonna do. We've finished the consultation now, so we're just wrapping that up right now. We're gonna go ahead and move over to my station. I'm gonna mix up the dye. We're gonna do foils on the top. We're gonna do finger combing in the dye towards the middle. And then I'm gonna brush it in, sorry about that, on the very bottom. Okay, then we will let that heat at the drying station. After that, I'm gonna wash it out. I'm gonna do a scalp cleanse, and that's going to be a scrub that will exfoliate and then also moisturize. Yep, I will use a color safe shampoo that's going to help to tone these warm colors into the dye. Okay, then we will do a trim on your hair. We will do your layers. I'm going to do some deep layers, probably 3 at least, and then we will add your bangs. I will steam the hair then. Okay, it's where I'm going to, it is exactly what it sounds like. I'll take your hair that is still slightly wet and I'll go in and steam it. What that does is it helps it to release a bit, and also it will help me to be able to add in some really moisturizing treatment to your hair to combat the dryness and just restore it. I'll add some keratin. All right. Then we're going to do your style. We're going to give you a full blowout. We're going to blow dry the full head of hair. All right. And then I will probably go in and do beach curls. Finally, I'm going to talk through with you the products that I used. I'll show you some of them, and then I will give you some free samples to take home before we wrap up. All right? Okay, great. So you get comfortable here. Okay, I'm going to get all of my items set up and put away, and then we will get started on your dye. All right? Cool. I'll be back in just a minute.